What's your go-to show? Like for do you put on shows for like background noise?
The Office. But usually like it's Jesus, dude.
It's fucking rude.
Getting all these emails. It's super rude. The Office, but I usually have like podcasts on and stuff. I usually have Joe Rogan on in the background while I'm working.
Oh shit, Joe Rogan's on Spotify now.
Yes, he is. His the first episode that was uploaded. It's still on YouTube. It's gonna be on YouTube till I guess the end of the year. But it was Duncan Trussell and it was over 5 hours long. It's really good. Christ. It's a really good podcast.
You listen to the full 5 hours?
Dude, I've listened to Joe Rogan, Duncan Trussell podcasts. They're my favorite. I would say over 100 hours for sure. I'll watch the same podcast 10 times, and every time I learn something new from that podcast. Or I'll hear something. I'll hear Duncan say something. Oh look, here's literally a clip of Duncan on Joe talking.
Until you train yourself to be in the present moment, it doesn't matter where you are. You're dead. You're not alive. You're not. It doesn't matter. You have to train yourself to get in the moment. Then once you're in the moment, then start making the moves.
Okay, now you say in the moment. Like, how do you address that?
He has his own podcast, right?
He does. It's called the Duncan Trussell Family Hour, and it's great.
What does he talk about?
He talks about all kinds of stuff. Have you seen the Midnight Gospel?
Yep.
That's his podcast. That's literally his podcast. His podcast audio. So here's another. What's he talking about here?
Right. Well, this is like that book that you introduced me to, which I
War of Art.
No, the Book of Five Rings.
Oh, the real one.
And the one that talks about how you should just learn anything. Like, get good at anything.
I'm listening to this book on audio.
The thing is that you're getting good at, because if you understand how to get good at this one thing, you can extrapolate from that how to get good at almost anything. There's these recurring patterns that happen. And so with archery, it's really cool because you have to find these...
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I listen to these podcasts over and over and over again, and I get so much value out of them. That's why I started my own, because people can go back and listen, or you or I will go back and listen, and we'll gain value still out of this.
Yeah. It's also like,
I can't find the Ron Swanson video. It's fine. It's fine. It's a distraction.
It's weird. I'm going to use, and in the same way I treat tattoos, like it's sort of like a reference point.
This vape is This vape is CBD, by the way, for all the haters out there. Go ahead. Sorry. Keep going.
To use this sort of as like a reference point to like a certain point in my life that I can look back on. So I think it's going to be interesting in like however many years, like watching / listening back to this and where I'm at. And dude, it's crazy. Like even compared to when college started, like 4 years ago, I'm completely different person.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I don't
absolutely
not even. It's so crazy, and so much has changed. Like I feel like I changed more from ages like 18, maybe 19, 20 until now in the past like 3-4 years than I've changed at any other point. Like it's crazy.
What do you think caused the acceleration?
College, like being on your own for the first time is definitely like an interesting sort of like wake up call to like
the real world.
I mean, it's still not even real world, but like it's closer to real world than
high school days. Yeah.
But that also just like real world shit happening. Like I can curse, right?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
No.
You can curse your ass off.
Like real, like sad shit. Like I had sad shit happen to me in my past, but
right, we all do.
Dude, first I think that was like the point where it was like shit's not. Who was I was just having this conversation with Norm, about so much shit happening, like negative shit happening within. There was a 5-6 month time span where like 4 or 5 very notable big
just
shitstorm like right after another.
Yep.
And that's was sort of like the wake up call that I was like,
the universe has shaken you to awaken you.
It's like, bro, like shit's real. It's not all fun and games anymore. It's not like you're not a kid. There's real life things. You got problems.
That's something that I realized after graduating high school and like Because that's what happens. You grow up, you're a kid, and like everything's fine. You don't have any worries. Like there's really nothing to worry about. Your parents got you, you know. And then you graduate high school. At least for me, I know I felt that way when all of a sudden like kids like started dying. Like kids would get in car accidents and die, or people would like get arrested, or this one kid that was in my friend group like murdered somebody in this town, and it was like this big deal, and like he got away with it, which is like kind of fucked up. It was like a whole home invasion scenario. I think it was.
What do you mean got away with it?
So basically what happened was, or what like the story is somebody broke into this kid's house, and in self-defense he killed him. What I think it was is this kid used to sell drugs, and it was probably somewhat drug related. And that's all I'm going to say on the matter, because that's all I know. But if the police are listening. But the thing is like he like basically got away with it. And like that kid was always like on some sketchy, like he had that like twinkle in his eye where you'd be like, oh yeah, he would kill somebody for sure. And he did. And like, but just like stuff like that, or like people I'm friends with, like, or was friends with, like getting a car accident. And that's when I realized like, oh shit, like this is the real world. This is what happens. Like you get out of these little bubbles of high school and being a kid and growing up and everything's fine and dandy. Obviously shit still happens, but then the real world stuff hits and you're like, oh my God, I'm in this. I'm a human. I'm here. We're here.
I think me changing in the past, like I said, since school started the past few years, changed so much. I think the person that I am was based off of, and I think it's just for everyone and sort of like determines who you are as a person, is when real world shit happens, how do you deal with that? It's like shit happens, and then because I changed a lot, like as soon as it happened, I was fucking like, life sucks, everything sucks, hated life, had like, I felt like no purpose. I was like, what why am I doing any of this shit? Like,
it's crazy that events can like make you feel that type of way, make you question everything that you're doing,
and then that's when you have to like,
but it's almost like you need those lows to climb out of, and like kind of you're down there and you're like, okay, I can only go up from here, and then that's kind of when the change happens. I've noticed in my life, every time shit has like hit the fan or things have been going on, whether it be like in my reality or like things around me, or even just like health issues, it's like, okay, well, what's this trying to teach me? And like, how is this trying to help me grow? Like I got sick a few years ago with like really bad headaches, and like every day I was getting them, and like we didn't know why, and like I was getting all these tests done and blood work, and like we couldn't figure it out. And what I think that was the universe being like, hey dude, like I'm gonna shake you a little bit, because I think the universe will send you all, like it'll keep trying to send you messages, and if you keep ignoring them, it's gonna like yell them at you. And I think for me, I was going through a phase where I needed to start doing some lifestyle changes, change my sleep schedule, start waking up earlier, going to bed earlier, eating better, this and that. And then I think like the headaches was like my body and what the universe being like, hey dude, like you got to change because the shit you're doing isn't working. So I'm going to give you these headaches and make you suffer a little bit to get that message. And then the same thing can be said about situations of like people dying or shit hitting you know what I mean? Like there's always something deeper going on, because everything that's happening is happening for you. And it just helps you just grow and keep getting better on the path.
Do you think that that's true? What you said, like you said, everything that happens is happening for you. I
think so. Because I think it depends on the perspective. You could be a victim and say, oh, why is this happening to me? Poor me. Like, life sucks. Like, and I get that. So we all face that. But I think a more productive perspective is like, okay, shit's happening right now. Like, this sucks. But, like, what is it trying to teach me? How is this trying to help me in the long run? Something, an example that we can all use is like, okay, you have a really bad breakup. Like, you learn shit in those relationships. Like, it takes time to heal. Heartbreak sucks, but like years later, you're able to look back and be like, oh, like I know what I had to learn. Like, all of the going through all that heartbreak and hurt, like it was trying to teach me something about relationships. That's just in the relationship category of shit hitting the fan. So I think there's always something to be learned. But obviously, like you like your parents could both die in a car accident one night, and it's like, well, what the fuck's that supposed to teach me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think there's different levels to it, but at the end of it all of the suffering and trauma and struggle is like just it makes you stronger.
Yeah.
Right. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I think Kanye said that. A lot of people say that.
What the how? Oh my God! How can I not remember? What doesn't kill you makes you strong. Who the fuck sings that? Okay, I need to find it.
Doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but we all know that song. Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood.
You could hear the lack of confidence in my voice when I said it.
Carrie, come on now.
Sorry, Carrie Underwood. If you're listening.
She does like country
I
music.
keep sucking up lemon seeds with my straw. It's very, very frustrating.
This is gonna piss me off. What
doesn't kill you make you stronger? But it's true though.
Kelly Clarkson.
Yes. That's who I was thinking. That's who I was thinking.
Kelly Clarkson.
One of those
Carrie
American
Underwood.
Idol.
Same person.
Chicks. Didn't Kelly Clarkson win American Idol?
Yeah, she was one of the first.
Kelly Clarkson.
Dude, my family used to be so into American Idol.
My family was big into America's Got Talent. We never got deep into American Idol. But
That was me and my siblings kind of were into X Factor and America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
American Idol, we were into it. Do you remember? So you never like watched it?
Not really.
Do you know like?
I know Sanjaya, that crazy dude with the crazy hair.
Is it recent or old?
That was like 10, 15 years ago. It was a long time ago.
I don't know if I know that.
Earlier seasons of American Idol. He was like popular.
Do you know? When I watched, I remember the 2 seasons I remember. Oh wait, no, it might have been the same season. David Archuleta and oh my God, it's David Archuleta and.
It sucks how memory fleets. That's like the 3rd, 4th time that's happened where you're like, me too. It's like, I gotta find this. Well, who said that? Who said that? Who said that? That's why I love the alpha brain shit and like the nootropics because they help with memory.
Do you? So I've never had a problem with like. Actually, no. Memory. I used to be really bad at like short-term stuff.
Yeah.
Like super short. Like when someone's like account number, they're like, remember these for like 876-8977.
Yeah, but that's like a lot.
And I'm like, okay. And
I couldn't even do that today.
Like 2 seconds after.
Yeah.
No idea.
Like,
Short-term memory was just so bad, and now it's switched, so I can remember like stuff that just happened.
Yeah.
Dates.
No.
So bad at.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at dates. It's embarrassing how little I know about birthdays and like.
Yeah, but like
even
me too,
family
bro.
birthdays. Like I don't.
Oh no. Do you know your mom's birthday?
Yes.
Okay.
I know my mom's birthday.
You know your dad's birthday? And your siblings?
Birthday. My dad doesn't like the
You're
birthday
right.
that we celebrate. Like
Yeah.
isn't his actual birthday.
Yeah,
It might be.
Can you talk about that? Because that's interesting.
It's crazy.
Your dad's from Cambodia.
Yeah, he was born in
And
Cambodia.
he escaped during. Was there a war? What was happening there when he escaped?
Yeah,
When
he escaped during the Khmer Rouge,
Okay.
which
It was like genocide or some shit.
yeah. So I am
Sorry,
not,
that sounded so disrespectful and ignorant. I'm sorry.
Shit.
Oh my god, I apologize to everybody in Cambodia. I love you.
I'm not as well versed in this topic as I should be.
Well, so no, your dad fled. There was some chaos going on. He's like, I gotta get the F out of H. Left Cambodia, came here, but like they're not sure his exact birthday, right?
No, they don't, because over there they don't care. That's not like a thing for them. They
There's
don't.
no birth certificates. Wow.
No, they're not. It's
Okay.
it's not a thing. Like that's.
Yeah, true. It makes sense. You go to the Amazon jungle. They don't got birth certificates when the tribes are
fuck
having
about your
babies.
birthday. Like they're like, let's
True.
survive. I don't.
We need some beans and water, man. Who
That's like-
cares?
my dad doesn't like
Okay.
give into / care about. Like he thinks it's stupid. He's like,
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely it's a cultural thing for sure.
yeah. But dude, that's another thing. I found out so much about my dad in the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
That's just been like a huge
Like a wake up
call and learning experience, and I guess like what I needed to hear from him, because like he definitely can have a difficult personality.
Yeah, he's been through a lot of shit.
Yeah. And I know he has, like, he told me very brief stories about like stuff he saw or stuff like that. but never like went too far in depth with it.
Right.
And it wasn't until recently where he was like, I feel like you kids are old enough to hear the story, and he sort of laid out like the shit that he went through.
I think you like touched on it last time I saw you when we went to the lake when we skipped rocks. That sounds like when we went to the lake and skipped rocks.
Skipped rocks, then we went and got pizza after ice cream.
Yeah, that was a cool day. We went. We were in Manioc, right?
I forgot. Yeah, I saw that video. That of you. You recorded me skipping the one rock, and it got. I don't know how many skips I got.
Like 10 or 12. It was a lot. That was impressive.
That was a joke. I went there and I was like, yeah, watch me get 12 skips.
That was nice. You and my friend Johnny Yedman, I shout out to Johnny, have these really interesting athletic abilities in just like, but like with random shit. Dude. Like skipping rocks, or how I'll throw a Skittle across the room from you over the rafters like 20 feet, and like you'll catch it in your mouth on the first try. Like that kind of obscure shit is cool. You guys can do that stuff.
It's cool.
Like effortlessly.
It's just so fucking useless. Like it makes me so angry. Why can't I be like good at something that's like meaningful?
You get one cool TikTok out of that, and that's it.
That's it. My friend.
You don't want to be known as the guy who catches Skittles in his mouth. That's who you die as.
I mean, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, you could probably make it like $1 million off it.
At home, we were going through the one night. We were having like a fire, and we were talking about. I mean, they're like super into Marvel and all that, and we were talking.
Who's this?
My friends from home, like
cool.
Like high school. And we were like, if we were all superheroes, like what would everyone's superpower be? Yes. And they got to mine, and they're like, so quickly, they're like, he's just really good at like really dumb shit, like things that don't mean anything. Like he's good at that.
Yeah, he can juggle with one hand.
But I could like fucking a Rubik's cube. Like I can solve a Rubik's cube in a minute.
Can you?
Yeah.
Really? I've never been able to solve one.
Give me that. I'll solve it really quick.
Oh man, that's a real treat.
It's just that, and like, do you know that thing where you get like
Here, wait. Before you do that,
a cup, and then you get dice, and you sort of like, and then they stack up on top of each other.
Yes, I do.
I can do that.
Clap for the lineup. Yeah. All right. Let's see. That'd be really impressive. How about that free? Have you've seen the freestyles of Logic where he's like freestyling
and
solves a Rubik's cube, and then like I think he does it with his eyes closed too. It's amazing.
That shit. I don't.
Amazing.
I don't know if I'm on that level. Okay.
All right, let's see.
Is this like a timer, or I'm just like doing it to show you that I can
just play around with it? Yeah, we'll continue the conversation.
Oh, dude, your cube's not nice, bro.
It's not worn in. It's not seasoned, as they would say.
That's seasoned. You can get like, I have a speed cube at home.
What is that?
Basically it just like turns a lot better, and the turn radius. So like when you turn this, you see how like this isn't centered.
Yeah.
So I can't like turn this. The speed cubes, like, they allow you so you don't have to be perfectly lined up to turn. So you can do stuff faster. That's cool.
They make all kinds of crazy ones that are like octagonal shapes and crazy geometric shapes. So like they have like sphere ones, dude.
They have ones that are like different like shapes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do those.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they're all kinds of crazy shapes. It's pretty good though, dude. Like you seem like you know what you're doing. I picked that up and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what am I even looking at? I know it's like algorithmic and stuff, and there's like some form of math behind that, and it's like, oh damn, he's making progress. If you're listening right now and not watching, he's like actually making progress.
It's not as hard as you would think. I learned to do this when I was like 12. My brother learned how to do it, and it made me angry.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck you, I can do that. Yeah. So I sat, and it took me like a week, and you just look up online the like algorithms. And then there's like multiple ways to do it.
Yeah.
If you remember like 4 or 5 different algorithms, that's it. It's so easy. Just go online. It's so easy to learn. Dude. I don't have my cube with me, so
I feel like I
should have brought my cube. What was I thinking?
I feel like you have to have a certain type of brain to be able to figure that out. I don't know. I would love to solve it someday, and I'm sure I will.
Ready?
But that's so confusing.
3,
You're close.
2, 1, done.
Oh, wow. Hold it up. Show the people.
Oh, shit. It's done.
That's amazing, dude. That was like 2 minutes.
If you...
Wow.
Simple solution, just turn it sideways and pop out the middle cube. Have you seen that?
No, do it. Don't break it, though. If you break it, you got to buy me a new one.
Oh, my God.
You're going to be out $12.
What is wrong with your...
That's that made in
Finish it. Say it. Say it to my face.
Made in the
I
USA.
can't do it. You can usually turn it like 45 degrees and then pop the middle ones out.
Huh.
And then
That's cool. Well.
oh wait, no, not the no, the middle ones.
I'm never gonna. I'm gonna keep it soft.
Before I leave, I'm fucking it up.
That was cool, man. No, that's. But like you said, what can you do with that knowledge?
Nothing. Literally nothing. I oh my god, I also wish that I could replace all the song lyrics that I have in my head
Yeah.
for useful information.
Yeah.
I would be a genius.
Oh wow.
The amount of space in my brain occupied by
song
music
lyrics.
and songs and TV show references and like social media shit is just
memes.
so unproportional to the meaningful shit.
Yeah. There's only so much bandwidth, dude. There's only like so much that you can remember. I was listening to, before you got here, I was listening to Theo Vaughn on Joe Rogan's podcast. Or maybe it was Duncan Trussell on Theo Vaughn's podcast, excuse me. And Duncan was saying how memory is so weird because think back to what you had for dinner 3 Saturdays ago. Chances are it's gone. Like you can't remember. So who's to say that you're not living in a forgotten memory right now? I'm sure you're going to remember this conversation in this podcast, obviously, but like how many things, I'm sure the example Duncan used, he was like, I would bet that maybe 10 years ago you had like a really nice dinner. It was really good. It was really nice. Might have been expensive. Maybe you're on a date and it's gone. Like it's gone. So like you could be living in a forgotten memory right now. And that's trippy when he said that. I was like, oh my God. Because it's true. Like how many.
I don't like that.
I don't know. It's kind of scary. It's kind of sad too.
I feel
you're
like that puts
damn.
a lot of pressure on you. Because then it's like you have to like make every moment like, fuck, like I'm gonna remember this. That's just not realistic.
Definitely not. I think you remember the meaningful stuff. But like you said, like I'm not going to remember 10 P's ago. I don't remember what I was doing or where I peed, but like so we're like on autopilot so much of the time. And then there's like we get like little patches of memories.
Yeah, that's why there's lots of reasons, but one of the reasons I did my road trip recently was because with like quarantine and all this shit, it's like
so for people listening, you drove by yourself to Colorado from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
How many miles?
I don't know.
It's like 2,000, 3,000.
Yeah, like
it's
out
far.
there,
it's days.
I think it's like 2 something, and then I ended up going out to Utah. Like that was the furthest west I went.
Nice.
And came back. That was
Utah's awesome.
I only got to spend like 2 days in Utah, and I only stayed in like one area, and then had to go back. But quarantine, I just felt like in such a routine of doing nothing. Like I just felt like there was,
for a lot of people,
it's just, I felt like there was no purpose to like anything. I would wake up and like I'm not working anywhere right now. I wasn't in school. I had no commitments to literally anything.
Right.
So when I woke up every day, it was like, what am I going to do today?
Yeah.
But then
it was hard to do a lot of things, especially where you're in East Falls, where you were, and I was living there too. Like there's not a whole lot. I mean, yeah, you can go out and hike and be in nature and stuff, but like you can't do that every day.
Yeah. And it's like,
as fun as that is, you got to do other shit. But it's like, what else can I do?
The point that like flipped it, and part of the reason for a road trip was waking up from like what's today gonna like, but switching to like waking up and being like,
in Utah,
I can do
in Colorado
whatever I want today. Like I don't have anything to do. I can do whatever I want. So like I was home with family, and it was actually really funny. My brother-in-law, I needed a new pair of shoes, and do you know Sakai?
Yes.
The brand. Do you know the Nike Sakai?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I was about to get those. They were like in my cart for 4.
The high top ones or the low top?
Low
ones?
tops.
Yeah.
They were the cream and white ones. They were like 4 something, like $4.50.
Yeah.
And no one in my family understands the whole like hype beast.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's a form
Pay a
of
lot
it.
for-
You can argue it's a form of investing.
Yeah.
If you take care of them, they hold their value. You can resell them for a lot of money. It's a
It's-
form of investing. That's why I bought the North Face Brain Dead collab stuff.
It's also just like
It's valuable.
spend your money on like what you care about.
Yeah,
like,
money comes back. Money comes back.
I'm sure she bought stuff for a lot of money that I'm like, why would you ever spend that much money on that?
Yeah.
But I told him I was going to spend that much, and he was like, what? I was like, yeah, they're so nice. Like, oh, you don't understand. Like, it's a nice brand.
Yeah.
He was like, dude, with that money, if I was in your position, I'd just drive out west. Like, why not? And I was like, didn't think about it.
Yeah, man.
And then that night, I was like,
He planted
wait,
that seed.
I can do that.
Yeah, he planted that seed. That's cool, man.
He was
Yeah, it's
so jealous.
It's money's a tool, so it's like you can either take that, buy sneakers, and just like have some sneakers. I'm sure you have lots of sneakers, or you could like go and have a once in a lifetime experience where you drive to Colorado and Utah and have a new adventure every day, and you wake up and there's the Rocky Mountains in front of you. Like you needed that for sure.
Yeah,
You definitely needed that.
I am still, because I just got back like
A week ago, 2 weeks ago.
I think like almost a month, and I'm still sort of like,
Really?
it was weird because
Wow.
I didn't go from road trip back to like the life I was living before and adjusting. I went home for like a few days, and then school started.
Yeah.
So then I was like back in that. So I've been like in that mindset
Yeah.
and haven't fully like processed the trip, but that was definitely like a huge growing experience.
Because you did that. You drove out there by yourself.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's a lot of time. Like, obviously, like, to drive out to Colorado, it's like, yeah, it's a lot of time. But, like, when you're sitting in a car by yourself all day long, it's a lot of time. And there's only so much music you can listen to before it's like, it's a lot. And then
start listening to podcasts. That's what we did when we drove to Florida. It was like, all right, we've listened to like all the music. Let's listen to some podcasts.
I tried to. My thing, I think I trained my body every time for 9-10 years now. Whenever I go to bed, I either watch YouTube or Netflix or something to toss on, because I can't sleep in silence and I can't listen to music, because then I just like sing along to the songs and then I can't fall asleep.
Yeah.
But so now, like, if I listen to podcasts, depending what it is, it just makes me so tired. I just like associate that with like going to bed.
Yeah.
So I have to listen to like comedy podcasts, because that's the only thing that like keeps me up.
Mm-hmm.
But I got like super into, I don't know if you know Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee, their podcast Bad Friends.
Yep.
I listen. That's like,
that one's
I think
really
3 days straight.
That
I
one's
just, like,
really funny. The clip where Bobby Lee called his dad by his first name. Did you hear him talk about that? He called him like Robert, and his dad being like, what are they, Korean?
Yeah.
Something, and he's like, his Korean dad. It's like, that's so offensive if you call your dad, your Korean traditional dad, by his first name. Like, if you were to call your dad by his first name, he probably would not be happy.
Just beat the
shit. Yeah. But yeah, that podcast is really funny. Bobby Lee, and they have a good dynamic for sure.
I'm trying.
Cheeto Santino.
Have you ever called your parents by their first name?
Yeah, many times. I feel like I call my dad by his first name more than I call my mom by her first name.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever like called my parents their names like to their face. I think like if I did ever, it was when I was young, and then something really bad happened for me to never do it again.
Oh man,
but
I wonder why that is. That's so silly. Like, our teachers get. I guess it's like a respect thing. I get it, but like, I remember we had these they're called paraprofessionals, who are like the aid ladies, who like, when you go to recess in like elementary school, they're the ladies who like watch you. Did you have that in school when you go to recess, or do they would just let you fuckers run wild outside?
I think they just let us go.
Oh my God. All right. Well, my school district in Morristown, we would have these ladies. They're called paraprofessionals, and they were like,
is your school that fucked up? The people there?
No. I mean,
like, even in elementary school, they're like, watch these kids.
I mean, Morristown's a really good school district. That's one of the reasons we moved here. But I guess Now that I think about it, it's kind of weird. They would have, but I also understand because it's like I guess they were almost like they were like the police at the school, if you will. Were like they were all these older ladies, and they like would when recess was over, they'd line you up and make sure everyone was like they dead ass thinking about. They were like the prison guards at the internment camp that is modern day public school. They were the guards at the internment camp. That's crazy. But I remember. I was like trying to get this one woman's attention, and like I knew her name was Lois, this old lady, and I was like, excuse me, and then I was like, Lois.
Yikes.
And she looked at me and was like, what did you say? And I was
Is
like,
that how she sounded?
yeah, no,
What did you say?
but immediately she was like, excuse me, and I said, in that moment Eric knew he fucked up. And I was like,
Wait,
oh,
you don't have a he fucked up button.
not yet.
Not yet.
That's when he knew that he fucked up. But yeah, so I tried to play it off real cool. I was like, Lois. So I was like, oh no, I said yo, because like yo and Lois sound somewhat similar. Like,
Okay.
I said Yois.
Yois.
Maybe it sounds like Lois. She didn't buy it. So she like, I think she
I don't
like,
think I would have been concerned if she bought that.
yeah. Well, I thought I was fucking what, 12-year-old. I thought I could get away with
this
it.
is elementary or middle school?
Middle school. It was middle school. It was 12 or 13. But yeah, people get offended, like these people who sit in the position of, what's the word? The opposite of subordinate. Superiors.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get real offended if you call them by their first name, which is silly because like that's who they are. That's like, I would rather you call me Eric than Mr. Jacobs. Like what?
I don't get that shit.
Or like even like at our school, all of our professors, you call them by their first name.
Yeah.
Wendy, Marsha,
Like
Becky,
the
all of them.
cool, like normal
Yeah.
people. Then you have like the weirdos.
Meg.
Like, I am professor,
Yeah.
or if like, okay.
I've never had that in college. I feel like.
I guess I can't say anything because I'm not a doctor. But people that have the doctor title
Yes, they correct.
need to be called doctor.
They make sure you know they have their doctorate.
I don't want to say anything because I have not done the work
Hey,
they
man,
have and
yeah.
put in the time that they have.
If I go to school for 12 years, you better call me fucking doctor.
That's okay. So like I can kind of get it, but like if someone slips up and they don't call you doctor, like
Yeah.
chill out.
That is Mr. Doctor Professor.
That is
Dr. Professor Patrick. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, just call me by my name, dude. Or, like, call me Dragon or something. You can call me whatever you want.
Dragon?
You can call me Dragon. What happened?
I was looking. Is that vest thing?
Yeah, that's my 20-pound plate carrier vest. It's really heavy.
How heavy?
It's at least 20 pounds.
That's no way.
Yeah, pick it up. You can pick it up. Lean over and pick it up. I bought this plate carrier vest when COVID hit because I was like, well, gyms are closed. I need to get... Because at the time, I was... Yeah, it's heavy, man. I'm telling you. You put it on, you do pull-ups, push-ups. It's just like you're 20 pounds heavier. So working out, the idea is like it's harder. It's more resistance on your body. There's this thing called rucking, where you basically throw that on and then just like kind of jog and hike and like walk through like the woods or on trails, or you run around outside rucking, where you basically
So just go about your normal day, but like add extra weight on for fun.
Yeah, 20 pounds heavier.
Okay.
Rucking. My friend Bruce is really into it, and he's the one that's a TacTech, a 511 tactical TacTech plate carrier vest. He has one, and that's the first time I saw it. And I tried it on. It was really cool. Makes you feel like you're in like a Rainbow Six or something. But plus, at the time, COVID hit. The world seemed like it was about to end, and I was like, hey, if shit hits the fan, I want to somewhat be able to protect myself. So that also doubles as like some form of body armor in case, who knows, dude. I was low key in the Rona fear. That's why I bought that samurai sword. That's behind me. I bought a samurai sword just in case shit hit the fan. Have you seen that yet?
No.
Oh man, I'll show you.
I don't think I ever went through. This is a really bad time ironic time, I'll say. I never had that like.
So I'm going to
Rona
show this
scare.
camera first.
Oh, yikes. Have you done like a sharpness check on it?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever like held a sword. Jesus.
Yeah, it's real.
I feel so badass right now. If I wanted, I could just kill you right now.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. So, I was low-key afraid that shit was gonna hit the fan, and I was like,
This is crazy.
I could get a gun, but in New Jersey, it's hard to get a gun. They make it really difficult for you, and it was gonna take up, a couple months probably. So I was like, I can either wait a few months and then spend $1,000 on a gun. Guns also kind of freak me out a little bit. Or I can go on Amazon and buy a handmade samurai sword for
They just sell that shit on
$300. Yeah,
Amazon? It is like $300, but still, you can just get that shit on Amazon.
Yeah,
That's terrifying.
it is. Yep.
Don't tell me you can get it like Amazon primed.
Yeah, it showed up a couple days.
Oh,
But it's
my
like,
God.
but it's like not. I mean, Amazon's just like the party that hosts the sellers. It's like a company that hand makes swords, and then they just what's the term? Not drop ship. They fulfill it through Amazon. So yeah, you can buy all kinds of crazy shit on Amazon. Who would have knew?
So I don't online shop that much. I don't really like online shopping.
I've been online shopping so much.
Jeff
Jeff Bezos made like billions of dollars because of COVID.
Yeah.
It really helped him out. Interesting.
Interesting. I don't online shop that much. And I know like I'm part of Student Prime or whatever that shit is. And like,
Yeah, me too.
I've used it before. But it wasn't until the other day where I realized the power of Amazon when I wanted to get
It's crazy.
these like needles, punch needles to make the rug. And
Right.
it was like $10 and then it was like 3-day delivery or something for free.
Yeah.
And then I was supposed to be able to like buy all the stuff in person and I couldn't, and I was pissed about it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want this ASAP. So I was like, oh, let's see how much like next day delivery is. It's probably super expensive, whatever.
It's like $4.
It was at 9 a.m. and for $2.99, I got it shipped to my house by like 5 o'clock that day
Yep.
for $3.
Yep. It's crazy, man.
What?
If you buy a book, sometimes it's free and you'll get it that day. I ordered a book a few weeks ago for a friend and it showed up 4 hours later. It's insane. It's crazy because there's fulfillment services all over. There's here in Jersey on 295, this big highway, there's 5 miles away, there's an Amazon warehouse. It's right there. It's crazy. They're taking over the world. It's
scary.
It's scary, but it's scary because they've hijacked our reward system. Not just Amazon, but like technology in general. Dude, like Duncan Trussell was talking about this. Like he was on Joe Rogan when COVID first hit, and he was like, they were talking about like when shit really hit the fan and people in the U.S. started freaking out and like buying all the toilet paper and like buying all the food and shit, and like that was like a short amount of time where there was like a shortage of certain items.
Yeah.
Where Duncan was like, Amazon sells those buttons where if you need toilet paper or paper towels, you click the button and then they just ship it to you automatically. Like you don't have to go on your computer. And he realized like, oh my God, when he went to click that button for toilet paper and like it didn't come, it's like, oh my God, how lost have I been? Where like, oh, it's my button that brings me things. And like now it's not bringing you things. Like that's so crazy that we rely on this stuff to just bring us our shit. Like we're so disconnected, dude. Like we used to hunt. We don't hunt for our food anymore. Like, so we're so disconnected from it. That's why I've never hunted, and I like, it kind of freaks me out. I don't know if I can go kill an animal and then like eat it, but I get it where you're like dipping your toe into this natural world and you're just like, so like if you don't kill it, if like Joe Rogan and his elks, he says he hunts elk because otherwise it's gonna die. They're fully mature. They've passed on their genetics and they've passed on their genes, and it's either going to get killed by a wolf, it's going to get torn apart by wolves or bears, or like it's going to have some horrific death, or he can come in, take it out, and then like eat it. And that way he's way more connected to the meat. It's like a primal thing where you could just fucking go to Wegmans and buy steak. I don't know if you can buy elk, but you can go and buy fish or whatever. There's like no reward, like no one gives a shit if you go to the store and buy a fish, but like if you catch a bass, it's like, oh my God, look at this fish. oh my God, we're gonna eat, we're gonna live. Now you just go buy a fish and like you're not even connected to it. It's weird, dude. Super weird.
Have you seen the show Alone on Netflix?
No, but I've scrolled past it many times.
Dude, watch it. It's crazy. Do you know what it's about or no?
No.
So it's 10 contestants that separately get dropped off in the Arctic in Canada.
Oh shit.
And they have to just survive as long as they can.
Right.
They're allowed to bring 10 things with them. They can pick whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like actually no one with them. Like not even a film crew. Like they record it themselves.
They're alone.
And then if they like need anything or if they're in trouble or something happens,
there's like a crew that comes in and
they have like
they
call in.
Okay.
But
satellite phone?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Probably.
But it's crazy because everyone's like off in their own area.
Yeah.
And like doesn't see any of the other contestants. And they also like don't get any information. You just have to be like the last person, I think. You just have to be like the last person left. And they don't like update you. It's not like they're like, oh, there's
Jenny
only
dropped,
2 people left.
Jenny dropped
whatever.
out.
So
she got bit by a spider and she's in the hospital.
I didn't finish yet, but where I'm at, I think there's like 5 people left.
Okay.
And I think it's like day 60, 70, something like that. And they just don't, they're just like surviving. They're like, all right, yeah. But it's crazy. Like,
how do you return, not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but like, how do you return back to civilization a normal person after that?
They talk about that. They're like, I feel like we can't even compare like that life to the life we live here. They're just
definitely not
2 completely different things. And when you live like in today's world, you're waking up, you have a job, you have things to do, you have things to accomplish, you have people to take care of, whatever.
Not even that, dude. You have running water and electricity, and you flick the button
like,
and the lights
are
come
there
on.
for you.
Yes.
Everything like
in other words,
up, like,
our reward systems have been hijacked because everything is so readily available.
Yes.
Versus in the Alone show, you're alone. You got to fend for yourself.
Yeah. Okay, I see that, But it's just their sole goal every day is just survive. Like they wake up, survive, like sleep, make sure no bears are grabbing their food at night. It's
get
insane.
some water. Yeah.
It's also I didn't think, I don't want to like spoil anything.
Okay.
Something's really funny, but it's like something bad happens, but I think it's kind of funny.
Go ahead, bro.
The one dude who's in it, he's this like macho man, like, oh,
yeah,
this is fucking,
I'm gonna win,
cakewalk. Whatever.
Yeah. It's
like day 2 or day 3, and he trips and breaks his leg, and he's just like, yeah, I broke it.
Yeah,
I broke it, and then just has to call it, and he's like, I broke my leg. I don't know.
Mom, pick me up. I broke my leg.
A lot of the people on the show, because you choose when you want to tap out. Well, so every so often a medical team comes in to like check on them, make sure that they're not like about to die.
Yeah.
But other than that, like the people there, you think it would be because of like food, like they ran out of food, they couldn't eat anything, they're starving, they have to call out, they can't, whatever, they got attacked, something. But at least one dude on the show leaves because he's like going insane.
Yeah, I bet.
Because you're out there, he got all the things he needed. He's like, I have a good shelter, I have a like good source of food that is, I can get it every single day.
Yeah,
I'm fine, like I'm set.
Yeah.
So he's like, what do you do with your time?
Right.
You don't have literally nothing. It's not like you can't scroll through your phone, you
can't even read a book,
anything. You don't have a book, you just sit.
I would just do push-ups.
Come back just so jacked. But I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
Like I can't be in my room for more than 5 minutes in just like silence. Otherwise I go crazy. Imagine 3 months of like you don't hear anything.
Yeah, there's no other people. Yeah, that's why solitary confinement in prison is one of the most inhumane things you could do to a human, because you literally go insane by not interacting with anybody.
It's nuts, dude. Like even on the road trip a little bit, I would like talk to people every once. I did not have like No, I had a few like real conversations, like decent like conversations with some random people, but for the most part it was just like little like, hey, what's up, how's it going? And it was weird. And it happened to me not the other day, like when I got back from my trip and I was home like in my apartment by myself, didn't have things to do. And I usually like talk on the phone with someone a day, or like I go out to the grocery store and say like, oh, thank you.
You interact with at least somebody.
One day I was talking with someone about what I did the last day, and then I thought back that night when I went to bed, I coughed. And then for some reason it hit me. I was like, that's the first like noise that came out of my mouth today.
That's crazy.
I did not say a single thing that entire day. And it felt weird. It was like I did not say anything, and it just felt like not good.
That's freaky.
Not like that. Yeah. But I'm trying to think, with alone, how long do you think you could do that? Keep in mind, like on top of being in the wilderness by yourself, nothing to do, it's also the Arctic during the winter.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't even sign up for that.
If, let's say, you have to, they just come, they're like, you're getting sent out there.
I guess I'd try. I would stick it out for as long as I could, and I would like do, because
how long do you think you could do it?
Dude, I don't know. If I could have a set up shelter and like have food and water.
You have to do all that shit.
Yeah, for sure. But like if I figured that out and I didn't like break my leg on the second day, I would go as long as I could. If like I had the basic shit met, I would just go. Because you say it would freak you out to be alone, but I'm sure it'd freak me out too. But I would also try to combat. I would probably get like super deep into meditation and like try to like astral project and like all that kind of crazy shit and have out of body experiences. If there was nothing else for me to do, I would master something like that. You know what I mean? Travel places with your consciousness.
Your 10 items you bring are just like all
I
different
bring my
types of
VR. Bring my VR headset.
VR headset.
Let's talk about that because you.
Oh my god!
So
dude.
Tonight, if you're listening, tonight was Noah's first experience with the Oculus virtual reality, just any kind of virtual reality. He tried my Oculus headset. Tell everybody a little bit about your experiences, because I told you it was going to change your world, change your whole life.
I don't know how I haven't used VR like to this point.
Right.
Just no one like it was always like
it was almost silly.
Cool. Yeah.
VR,
like,
cool.
It's a little like fun little thing to do.
Yeah, you see the Samsung, you plug the phone into the thing. And it's cool. I've tried it, but
because you can with those, it's like
it's a novelty.
It takes it,
or it was
the cool factor out. Yeah. Whenever you're just putting your
phone into it. Yeah.
Because you can look at it without the VR thing, and you're like, oh, like I can.
Like the 3D 360 degree videos. Yeah.
And the quality is not great, and it's also your can't move. All you can do is just like rotate, and that's it. I am unbelievably impressed with the detail and quality of all that shit that go. I did not expect it to be that good.
I let Noah run through the tutorial for Oculus, and then he proceeded to play the ping pong game.
Yeah.
And then he played a coloring book game where you're literally inside of a coloring book and you can color the universe around you. And then we played Star Wars Lightsaber Dojo, and we're throwing around lightsabers and
that
shit.
Was scary. Oh, we played.
And then you played you.
What was the Red Dudes?
Super Hot.
Super Hot's
really cool. It's immersive, dude. It really is immersive. And I'm telling you, 10 years from now, like it's virtual reality and regular reality is going to be. It's the veil and the line is going to be very, very thin.
You've seen Westworld?
No.
You know about Westworld?
Yes. It's a show.
Have you seen? No. Like, do you know what it's about at all? You don't even know, dude. You love it. It's So it's this facility where people can go, but it's really expensive. So it's just for really rich people. Yeah. And it's just the most realistic VR experience ever. It's not like put on a headset. Really? They like take you into it and you interact with robots.
Yes.
But they have gotten these robots to a point where they look, think, almost talk, act, feel like a real person. And the whole story is about these people that go into this world, and then the thing is, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
You can kill people, you can rape women, you can steal, you can do literally no consequences, and you can hurt, kill people, but you can't get hurt at all.
So it's like you're playing GTA in a virtual reality.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
100% it.
That's crazy.
But it takes place, like the first season takes place in like the Wild West, and it's like cowboys and stuff like that.
That's cool. It's almost like a Black Mirror type idea, but they made a whole show out of it.
It's mind blown. The end of the first season is so crazy. Though, okay, so it's like spoiler, but not really, because you find out in the first few episodes, and it's like what the whole show is based on is the robots have become. So whenever they're killed, they're like brought into a repair room.
Okay.
And they wake up in there. They're not supposed to. So they're supposed to be like turned off, asleep, and then people fix them up, like looks like surgery because they're people. So all the stuff they have to like fix up, adjust like their conversation, stuff like that. But one of the robots like wakes up while they're in the lab and what's happening, like, and is seeing them being like operated on, and she's like, what what is this?
Oh, because what, she thinks she's a human?
Yeah, because she thinks she's real. So that was her world, like her living in that tiny town with all the cowboys, like that was reality to her.
Wow.
And then she wakes up and sees these doctors like on her, and she sees other humans like being made, like dipped into some stuff. And she's like, what the fuck is happening?
That's like some Matrix shit.
And then, so they try and like erase that from her memory, but then she figures out a way to like.
She escapes and.
Yeah. And then she like helps. I don't want to like spoil it too much, but then more robots find out about it, and then it just turns into like a shit show. And
I don't want to spoil it, but let me spoil it. No, I'm definitely gonna. I'm gonna watch. Is it on Netflix?
It's on HBO.
HBO. All right, I'm definitely gonna watch that now because the virtual reality shit is real, and it's
made me scared, like a little bit scared, like really, really cool, obviously.
Yes.
But a little bit terrifying.
Yeah, dude, when you were standing in front of Darth Vader and he's like 6'3", you literally said, you're like, I'm terrified right now. It's crazy. It was
like, because you can move around, and then you see Darth Vader sitting there. Yeah. And he was like down, and I was like, oh, what's good, Darth Vader? You hanging out? And then he turned around and stood up, and I was like, I was kidding. It was my friend. I'm sorry. That when he took like steps towards me, and then got there and pulled out the lightsaber, I was scared. Like, that shit is scary. It's not a joke. It's not like, oh, this is a video game.
No, you're in the world, man. It's one thing to watch it on the computer, but it's a whole different thing to have the headset on and literally be in these worlds.
It's so, and like your hands. I think that's the weirdest part is
you look down and your hands are different.
Or that one like in the home waiting room.
Yeah, the virtual environments. That you can hang out in is like your home, like your desktop home screen is just a virtual environment. You're in this badass geodesic dome and there's cool furniture and you just want to go and sit down on the furniture, but you can't. And that's what makes people sad. That's what made my friend JP sad. He's like, damn, dude, I wish I could just go sit on that couch and lounge around here. We'll get there though. Give it a few years. You'll be able to do that. 100%.
Joking, but
you just need a big enough play space.
Yeah.
No. If you have if you have a big enough play space, like 30 by 30 feet, you could definitely go walk around and sit in those chairs.
Have you seen, it's like a VR, you put on the headset and it's a
omnidirectional treadmill.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be nuts.
Yep.
I want to try that so bad.
Yep. That's where we're headed, dude. And then pretty soon we'll probably have suits that we wear with haptic feedback. So if Darth Vader does hit you with a lightsaber, or a stormtrooper like shoots you, you'll feel like a little vibration or something like because even though they're shooting you, you don't feel it, but it's like you flinch. You're like fuck because you feel like they got you,
and it's so like in your face, like it's super hot. Like you're like, oh, look behind you, and I turn and there's just like a dude like a foot away from me running at, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yep. It's amazing, dude. It's amazing technology. If you're listening, you haven't tried virtual reality, try it because it'll change your entire perspective on this reality that we live in, and it might make you more comfortable with the idea that this could be a simulation, because that's where mind's headed with that.
That's where my mind's.
It is, dude, because it's so real. Because even like you were like, I'm almost afraid to take the headset off because you were in all these different universes, whether it was the Super Hot universe or the Star Wars reality or the coloring book reality or the meditation app. And you were like, I'm almost afraid to come back because like, what am I going to see when I take these headset off? And you're literally just back in the living room. And you went on that whole adventure in all those different realms, but you didn't even leave the room. It's like, what? There's nothing like it. It puts video games out of business.
It's that thing. It's really scary. I feel like if that becomes cheaper, I know it's not like super expensive. You said it's what, like $500-$600,
$500-$600, yeah.
So like not cheap, but like not everyone can own that.
Right.
As soon as everyone can own one of those,
yeah,
I can legitimately see people getting depressed because of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like just living another life through this VR because it's so real. And then they have to come back or become addicted to it. Like, oh my God, I can see people getting addicted to that so
VR addiction.
easily.
VR addiction is definitely going to be very real. But that's a cool thing about at least the wireless ones is like they'll die eventually, at least like an hour or two in. We played for maybe an hour and a half, and I was like about to die. So sometimes you're gonna have to come out of the world for a little bit and like unplug. But VR addiction and post VR partum depression will probably be a very real thing in the near future, and it's kind of scary to think about how much battery percentage left. We got 4% battery on my camera left, so we should wrap it up in a minute or two. But
do we end it with like, can we freestyle? You freestyle. That's the beat. Hey,
no,
drop the beat.
I'm not gonna freestyle, but yeah. VR is really crazy. I'm really glad I got it because it's fun to play and it's also like it is a workout, especially the lightsaber dojo. You saw me, you felt my heart rate, dude. My heart was beating so fast and it was actual exercise. So that's a cool aspect of it too. But my favorite thing about owning one is giving people like you their first ever VR experience and like, because that definitely changed you. You're not the same after you experience that. Your whole universe was like expanded.
You can create any world. Yeah. You can create anything and just basically like live in it or like force someone else to live in it.
Yep.
That's terrifying. That's so scary.
It's freaky, but it's also really cool the stage we're at now. So I'm super grateful that I was able to give that to you and to my dad and my mom and like several of my friends, and because it's so entertaining to just watch them be blown away.
I wish I could have seen my face when I like saw things for the first time. Yeah. I caught myself so many times just like mouth open.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would look at you and your mouth is just open looking at this stuff that's unfolding before you. It's quite beautiful, man. So shout out to Oculus and all the HTC companies that are doing this.
Send me one.
Yeah, send us one. We'll keep talking about it.
Dude,
all right, Noah, we got 2% left on this camera battery, so thanks for being here, brother.
It's been real.
This has been that's like an ongoing joke where like at the end, I'll always play that. I need an actual theme song, and I say that every time.
Yeah, that one's good.
It's the one that came pre-recorded.
Perfect. Relatable.
Thanks, Noah. Thanks for being here. I think this is like episode 7 or 8. I don't know. I have a lot of videos to edit. They're stacking up. But all right, homie. Thanks for being here.
No problem.
Thanks for listening, and we will catch you on the flippity flip.
Is there like a catch? Like, let's roll, friends.